Alright, non-anime ride line upgrade again. This time it's a new form of Eugene. That is a double rare for some reason. So let's begin. So here's the new starter, Double Gun of Duststorm Bart. Next to the grade 1 Wiki Power, Colorful Strike of Duststorm Colorless, which has a skill auto when rolled upon by the grade 2 Roaring Bullet of Duststorm Lenoid. Look at top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to one card with Duststorm from among them, reveal it and put your hand, of course shuffle your deck. So basically you're trading the grade 1 Soul Charge for basically a search. Although Eugene does have two different grade 1s that you can run in a ride line, just saying. In which the grade 2 with 10k power, Roaring Bullet of the Storm Lenoid is not restricted to grade 1, which has a skill auto when rolled upon by a grade 3 Eugene, so it could be either Eugene. Cost, energy cost 3, draw a card, choose a card from your hand and put to soul. So basically comparing to this to the original, this one lets you draw 2 but at the cost of energy, and choices soul charging from your hand rather than from the drop. With the second skill, Auto Vanguard Rearguard, when this card attacks, if your opponent has 2 or less rearguards, this card gets us 5k power. And comparing this to the original can only be rearguard only, but has the additional part where you can counterblast 1 to soul charge 1 as well. So in a way, this is a little bit of an improvement, but you only mainly use this for the right deck anyway, so it is up to personal preference whether you want to soul charge from hand or soul charge from draw. But I personally prefer deck thinning since draw 2 is better. In which we go to the new Eugene, that is grade 3 with 13 power, Inferno of Duststorm Eugene, which has a skill. Count Vanguard, it's also treated as the original, and I like that. Because of course, like most other old ride lines, a lot of cards are locked to the original, so just having the original name is just very helpful. But the second skill is Act Vanguard. Once per turn, cost, rest 2 of your rearguards, choose a column and retire all your opponent's rearguards in the same column. What I like is that it bypasses the choose abilities. And 2, it's an improvement to the original because the original only retires 1, but it's the loss of power, but your next skill, spoiler, is going to give you some extra power, but not as much as the original. But retiring 2 is a huge improvement. In which the next skill is Auto Vanguard. Once per turn, when this card attacks a Vanguard, cost counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Look at top 5 cards to your deck, choose up to 2 grade 3 or less cards from among them and call them to rearguard in the same column, shuffle your deck, and this card gets plus 5k power into your end turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is at least at grade 3 and they have at least 3 open rearguards, all your called units by this ability get plus 5k into your end turn. Oh my god, people have been demanding a Eugene that can do multi-attack, and in such huge improvement to the original too, because this one retires a whole column instead of just retiring 1. Sure, you are sacrificing 10k, but you are getting 5k power, so it's a nice trade-off. And the called units also get some extra power as well for the extra multi-attack, which is overall pretty nice. And let's not forget your old support cards as well for Eugene, because a lot of them still works with this one card and I love it. So overall, a huge upgrade to the original, and definitely will be replacing the original if you're going to play it. Now on the ride line, it's just personal preferences. And now to the support, let's start off with Artillery Barrage of Duststorm Heliz, which is a grade 1 keep powering the skills. Auto Rearguard. At the start of your battle phase, your opponent has 1 or less rearguard, stand this unit. Of course, since Eugene focuses on resting your stuff at the main phase and then standing in battle, this is of course helpful. But other thing is helpful is the Duststorm name, because it's archetype. With the other skill of Count Guardian, if your Vanguard is Duststorm, shield plus 5k. Overall, not too bad for the deck, but you mainly use it for the restand part because you are going to be resting your rearguards in the main phase. With the final card being Brilliant Bullet of Duststorm Richnet, which is grade 2 with 10k power, and this goes Act Rearguard. If you have at least a Vanguard grade 3 Eugene, cost, soul blast 1, rest this unit, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and retire it. Considering that the new Eugene doesn't really use much soul, and you have a lot of old soul charging for Eugene, this isn't even bad. With the second skill, Auto Rearguard. At the start of your battle phase, if your opponent has 1 or less rearguards, stand this unit, and this card has a 5k power in the end turn. Of course, another one of those rest targets, which is nice, and it can even rest itself for extra retire, which is also very helpful. So overall, must play. So that's it for the new Eugene. What do you guys think of it? Overall, it's just a huge improvement of the original, with multi-attack and more retire, but with less power. And old support works with it as well. So overall, it's a huge improvement. But in that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.